Mark, what was the thing that stood out to you? Because I know there's so much to see on day one. Your eyes are kind of darting everywhere at the start of practice. Obviously, you want to check and see who's out there and who's not first, right?
Marshall, I am going to, if you don't mind, Marshall.
Yeah, I don't mind at all.
I'm going to rattle off a bunch of in no particular order here. I'm just looking at the notes on my phone. Let me just tell you, how things have gone so far. I had an hour plus practice. Just came inside a little while ago. We heard from Dennis Allen. Cole Kmet just spoke. TJ Edwards is going to speak. And so this is the timing is perfect. I'm literally just walked out of the interview room into the NFL Network room where I'm speaking to you fine people. So here are my unedited notes. There was no Luther Burden out there today. Just so people, just to bring you back, he had some soft tissue issues, right when he came in here for the preseason program and everything. So he still was not out there. I didn't even spot him. Now that doesn't mean he wasn't, didn't pop out there at some point in time, but I did not see number 87 on the field here today. So no Luther Burden. Zay Frazier, one of the guys that I have talked about as potentially being a training camp hero, was not present today. Braxton Jones and Colson Loveland were both out here in ramp-up mode. Now, more notes. Caleb Williams' first pass in 11 on 11, guys, an interception by Tremaine Edmonds, which some people thought would have been an easy pick six if things were full speed. Another note here. Ben Johnson, about an hour into the practice, first unit lining up out there in 11 on 11, getting ready to go. They botched something, and then they botched it again. Ben Johnson, we got yelling from Ben Johnson, and he benched the first unit. He did like a line change. He's like, get out of here, sit down, and he brings in the next line.
The whole first unit, the entire offense.
Yeah, that was it. Like, bring on in the Case Keenum line. And by the way, Layla, Case Keenum, the second string quarterback today.
That's big news. Also, he carried a massive suitcase to Halas Hall, and I was wondering what is in the suitcase. But the older you get, the more you travel with.
That's true.
Okay, so I before you get to the other updates here, I think it's important to point out, I didn't know that it was the first pass where Caleb Williams threw it and Tremaine Edmonds picked it off. What was the reaction?
Funny,
what was the reaction like when that happened? Like out of Caleb Williams and out of the defense?
No, as you can imagine, and there's a healthy group of reporters out here, dozens of us, and the reaction was, really? That was the reaction. It was like, come on, you got to be kidding. Like, here we are, we're all back, and there's an interception thrown by Caleb Williams. So I don't think it's symbolic of anything. Like in terms of, oh boy, Caleb ain't there yet. It just sort of sucked that's the way it started. And it's fun that you mentioned, Layla, that you didn't know that was the first pass. I actually, at first I didn't know either. I was like, that was his first pass of the damn day, wasn't it? And yes, so that was his first pick of the day. And on the overall, it was just an okay day for the offense. I didn't necessarily think the defense shined that much either. Like, it's not like this was one of those days where I'm going to sit here and tell you the defense dominated, but there were no real big highlights from the Caleb Williams offense. There was a really nice connection out here, like play of the day, Tyson Bagent to the rookie J.P. Richardson out of TCU, a sweet catch and a bang-bang play. So if you needed an offensive highlight, that was it for sure. One thing on the defense here, guys, too, I thought it was interesting. Tyreek Stevenson, of course, starting at one cornerback like he'd had and still continues to do. Without Jaylen Johnson today, Nahshon Wright was the cornerback on the other side. And, look, we just talked to Dennis Allen, and he was talking about how size is a big deal to him, especially with cornerbacks. And Nahshon Wright, 6'4", fourth-year player out of Oregon State, fits that bill. So it wasn't Terrell Smith, who Dennis Allen said was not as available during the preseason program and has been banged up a little bit. So I think that was interesting, too.
Ben Johnson benching the entire offense is basically a Bears meatball move. Like, isn't that basically something a caller has said? Like, I'm benching the whole offense. He did it.
Yeah, he did it. He did it. That's an old. It actually reminded me of, guys, when Tom Thibodeau was. I think it was Thibodeau, who at one point in time during his Bulls tenure just sat every one of his starters, like back when things were really good for the Bulls, because I just put in a bunch of no names and just left them in there for the rest of the half. That's what it reminded me of. But in this case, I should be very clear. It was like the first string came right back on. They didn't send them to the sideline or anything like that. It was just, all right, get out of here. You guys, you botched this twice. We didn't get the specifics of it. Ben Johnson didn't speak today. Cole Kmet was up there, and we're like, he was sort of enabled with the question that he was asked, was like, oh, is this like a new installation issue? And Cole just looked at us and said, we screwed up. We should have known what was going on there. So so the players took some culpability in botching whatever was going on. But man, I mean, the carryover, because I wanted to see, like, Ben Johnson set the template in the OTAs and the minicamp and all that stuff. And one of the themes was his voice. And there it was again today, man. He had a red ass today when he was like, he had seen enough in that moment.
I love that, because Ben Johnson, as collected as he's been, we've seen now several instances of him stepping in and stopping what's going wrong. And that's all I ask for. That's like the baseline, because that's something that clearly did not happen this time last year. So I want to know, with Dennis Allen specifically, what was his message? What stood out to him on day one? Because we often talk about the offense. So much has been put on Ben Johnson. But, hey, Dennis Allen's a new coach. He's a defensive coordinator, and we're expecting big things, or at least better things, from this defense.
Yeah, no doubt, Marshall. And I mean, and just to add to the point that you were making in terms of the coaching, and the coaching has to be able to identify what is wrong, to be able to stop the play and yell. Sometimes you wonder, with the previous regime, did they know that the team had screwed up? Did they know that the plays needed to be stopped? Did they know that there needed to be some culpability? But at some point in time, I will officially stop talking or comparing things to the 2024 season. As far as Dennis Allen, man, I've talked to Dennis Allen previously being out here. This was the first time. Like, now we're in a different mode. He got up there, and look, as we all know, Dennis Allen was a head coach. He truly carries himself with the confidence and the poise and just the way he speaks. He does, like, you could tell he's been a head coach. He came up there today and he was like, man, this is the beginning. Liked what we saw. Loved that Tremaine Edmonds had the interception, but there's a long way to go. Dennis Allen was asked about Jaylen Johnson and said, obviously, we don't like him not being here, but he said the right things in terms of, we know that we have good depth here, and we're gonna make the most of things without Jaylen Johnson for right now. He's still, no update on that, by the way. He's still on that 3-week timetable, which Ryan Poles shared with us yesterday. But more specifically too on Dennis Allen, Marshall, I mean, he talked about, because we talked about Tremaine Edmonds and maybe changing positions, and TJ Edwards. Both those guys were kind of cross training today, playing both positions. So yeah. So that, I mean, I think we're going to see TJ Edwards in that middle spot. I think that was made pretty clear. I think that he is the guy that can be most effective there. But for whatever it's worth, Dennis Allen was straight up and saying, yeah, there's some cross training going on with those guys.
Just to clarify, Mark, you said 3 weeks. That was a very specific time for Jaylen Johnson. The quote was a few weeks. Have we narrowed it down to 3?
You know what? That's I'm glad you clarified that. When I hear few, I just translate that to 3 weeks. So I probably should have generalized and used few. So I'll go back.
I was excited because 3 weeks I can do it.
No, yeah, few. Isn't that technically, like, if you looked up the word few in the dictionary,
several times in my life, I've looked up few, I've looked up several. It's a small number of.
It's a small number of.
Yeah,
okay.
There's not like a specific.
Okay. Clever if you're the one phrasing it and people are asking for a hard timeline. Clever.
Yeah. I'm a clever guy. Clever, or as they say in Jurassic Park, clever girl.
And then he dies.
Yeah, I mean,
spoiler alert.
I can't stand it. Yeah, I can't stand the Jurassic Park movies. I have too much anxiety in my life. I don't need all that. I don't need to worry about dinosaurs. I can't worry about dinosaurs running around the earth. I have no time for this.
Layla, I don't have time for dinosaurs, damn it.
I don't. I do not. Like I saw several spiders on my commute today walking around the sidewalk because it's spider season. That's all I'm dealing with right now. Okay.
Oh my God! How about I think you up a good Triceratops or maybe a Stegosaurus, maybe a
long as
Brontosaurus.
it's not a raptor.
Can we get a nice dinosaur like a Brontosaurus or something who's like slow and you see him coming and he eats plants?
Well, Layla, see, that's the thing. In every Jurassic Park movie, there's a nice Brontosaurus part where you see the herbivores out in the yonder harmlessly howling up and just the beautiful scenery in Costa Rica. I'm very hurt that you're not a Jurassic Park fan, Layla.
No, I saw one and that was enough for me. I don't need to have them come back all the time. I don't need to make the Mesozoic era great again.
I'm kind of with her on the whole not watching Jurassic Park, but just the part about I don't need them to come back.
Yeah, and of course it's through a mosquito. Don't get me started on them as disease carriers.
Oh,
No,
man,
none of
that
this.
was pretty fancy the way they did all that with the amber and the whatnot. So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I don't need any of that. These things already scare me. I don't need them in my real life.
You know what?
I'm trying to avoid spiders on my walk today.
When I come in on Friday, guys, let's talk Triassic period.
I like it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you Friday, Grote.
Yeah, it's been a while. I miss you.
You've been
guys.
ducking me, but that's okay.
We'll let you get back
well.
to collecting more important Bears interviews, Mark. Thank you for your time and your service.
I'm not ducking you. Marshall actually ducks me, Layla. It's not. He was going
jumped
to
me
walk
on the
right
street,
past
basically.
me.
He jumped me
in
on
the
the street.
South Loop. Yeah, I did. I was
you guys-
hiding behind a pillar. And
He was hiding.
Pillar?
Yeah, he jumped me. He was hiding as I was walking down the street. You know, I'm locked in. I'm like you. We're locked in when we're walking.
Mission critical walkers.
And Grote was like, ah, and I was like, oh, hey, what's up, Mark?
But dude, I'm telling you guys, look down, man. You don't want to step on a spider. That's gross. It's spider season.
Yeah.
They're here.
It is spider. Hey, last thing, Layla.
Yeah.
Spiders are our friends.
Yes.
They eat the insects.
Yeah, I like
Spiders
them. Yeah.
are our friends.
They eat stuff for me to not have to worry about. So I'm into it. So just watch for them.
Life finds a way.
Oh.
We found out.
I can't with it. Just help out your spiders on your daily walk.
We just hope the
hanging
Bears
out
will
on the
find a
ground.
way. We hope the Bears will find a way.
And maybe
The Bears will find a way.
somebody's like a spider on the field. I feel like that would be Kyler Gordon. I feel like he's the Spider-Man.
Spider and eating insects and eating out their insides. Anybody know the song lyric?
No.
That
No.
is Blink 182.
All I know is Itsy Bitsy Spider. That's all.
You ate my beer.
Oh, wow. Wow.
This journey down life's
We gotta
memories and examination of existential concepts with Mark Grote is now coming to an end. Mark, thank you. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye, guys. See you guys. Bears.
The Bears.